All right, so if you're a professional, especially in real estate, I'm sure you've heard it a million times. You have to be on social media. You've got to build a brand, post every single day. But what if that relentless pressure to just feed the algorithm is actually costing you clients? Today, we're going to dig into the social media trap and, more importantly, how to get out of it. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of it. This is the core mistake so many of us make. We chase that visibility, we chase the engagement, the likes, the comments, the shares, and we just assume they'll lead to trust and authority. But the truth is, they're not the same thing at all. Chasing likes can be a really dangerous game, and we're about to see exactly why. So, first, let's talk about what I like to call the social media treadmill. You know the feeling, right? It's that constant nagging pressure to just create more content day in and day out just to stay relevant. You feel like you're running endlessly just to keep from falling off the back. And you know how it starts. It's simple. You know the algorithm wants consistency, so you commit to posting daily. But that content beast is always hungry. And pretty soon, you're just throwing anything you can at it to keep it happy. Your thoughtful long-term strategy, it gets completely buried under the pressure to just post. That right there, that's the trap. And that's when you end up posting things like this. And look, the intention behind this stuff is solid. Of course you want to showcase properties and prove you're a real, relatable human being. But when every single agent is posting the same day-in-the-life clip from their car, it all just starts to blend together. Without a unique strategy, it's just noise. So when you're on that treadmill and you're running out of your own ideas, what's the easiest thing to do? You borrow someone else's. You jump on a trending audio, you do a viral challenge. And this, my friends, is the trend-chasing trap. This is where your professional brand is most at risk. This really lays out the two paths you can take. On one hand, you've got strategic marketing. That's a long-term investment. It's about building real trust and authority to attract your ideal clients. On the other hand, you've got trend chasing. That's all about short-term gains, chasing views and prioritizing entertainment, often at the huge expense of your professional identity. And here's the really sneaky part. This happens so slowly, you almost don't even notice it. You post one kind of funny, off-brand reel, it gets a ton of views, and you think, hey, this is working. But with each little step you take down that path, you're subtly, quietly eroding the professional standard you've worked so hard to build. So, what's the actual damage here? What's the big deal about chasing the wrong kind of engagement? Let's get into the real price you might pay for going viral. So before you hit post on that next trending video, you really have to stop and ask yourself this. Is that quick hit of validation you get from a viral video worth the potential damage to your long-term reputation? Is the buzz really worth the risk? I want you to think about it this way. Every single thing you post becomes a new line item on your digital resume. Seriously, it's a public portfolio of your judgment, your character, and your professionalism. And you have to assume that potential clients, partners, and brokers are looking at it, even if they never, ever like or comment. And these right here, these are the hidden costs. Because sure, people will laugh at your silly reel, but when it comes time for them to make the single biggest financial decision of their lives, are they going to hire the entertainer? Or are they going to hire the agent who projects trust and authority? You end up with followers who want to show, not your expertise. And you could be losing business without ever even knowing why. Okay, but listen, it's not all doom and gloom, I promise. There is a smarter way to use social media, a way that actually builds your business instead of accidentally undermining it. So let's talk about the solution. This quote, this is the whole game right here. This is the key mindset shift. It's not about being anti-trend. It's about being pro-strategy. The goal isn't to be boring. You can absolutely use a trend, but you have to make the trend work for you, not the other way around. It has to align with your brand and your goals. So here's a super practical tool for you. Before you post, just run your content through this quick 3-step check. First, client perception. Does this make me look like someone they can trust with hundreds of thousands of dollars? Second, brand alignment. Does this actually reinforce the professional image I want to project? And third, the partner view. Would I be proud if other top professionals in my industry saw this? This simple filter can be a total career saver. When you get right down to it, this all comes down to one thing: building a brand that can weather the storm of all these fleeting trends. So let's talk about how to build a brand that actually lasts. Here's the fundamental choice you're making every time you post. A viral moment is temporary. It's exciting, and then poof, it's gone. A reputation that's built on trust, though, that's created slowly, brick by brick, but it's what builds a sustainable career. In a business that runs on trust, you just can't afford to trade the latter for the former. So resist the pressure to be the loudest person online. You don't need to be an entertainer. The real power, the lasting power, comes from being a trusted guide. Show up consistently with your expertise, your genuine personality, and your professional standards. Real connection comes from authenticity, not from antics. So I'll leave you with this challenge. After this, go open your social media profile, but try to look at it through the eyes of a brand new potential client. What story is your digital resume telling them? Is it the story of an entertainer, or is it the story of an expert they can actually trust? The choice, my friends, is yours.